120 Battalion Gunuri, who was promoted to the rank of warrant officer. From Gunuri in Gujuba local government of Yobe State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Navy says its operatives will continue to receive the best of training to help burst crimes and defend the territorial integrity of the nation. Flag Officer Commanding Naval Training Command, Rear Admiral Obi Ferdinand Ufodile, stated this during his familiarization visit to the Nigerian Naval Provost and Regulatory School in Makurdi. Charles Abba reports.
On arrival, the commanding officer, Naval Training Command, Rear Admiral Obi Ferdinand Ufodile, inspected the guard of honor mounted by the Nigerian Navy Provost and Regulating School, Makurdi. He proceeded to inspect various facilities in the command, including the Nigerian Navy Medical Center. While addressing the officers and men of the Navy Provost and Regulating School, he commended their dexterity and charged them to be committed to the peace and tranquility of the nation and the state.
We have a vision, which is that all professional schools under our command must strive to train and bring officers and men to the highest level that we can operate and be a pride to the nation.
Rear Admiral Fodile also visited the Air Officer Commanding Tactical Air Command, Nigerian Air Force, Makurdi, Air Vice Marshal Mohammed Adamu Idris, where they both expressed determination to defend the nation from external aggression and ensure internal peace.
We are taxed statutorily to defend the territorial integrity of our country and sea and by air, and when invited also to help the several security agencies
or in so event that the national area of the crisis in our country requires our individual and collective efforts to contain the challenges we are facing.
The Nigerian Navy Provost and Regulating School, Makurdi, was established in 2010 with the purpose of training officers and men of the Navy in military police and investigation duties. So far, the school has graduated over 600 officers and 1,000 men. In Makurdi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
We now take you to the National Assembly, where the Senate Committee on Police Affairs has met with security operatives to discuss the challenges of kidnapping and other nefarious activities along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Zumba reports.
The meeting with the Inspector General of Police and officers of the Nigerian Army from the Defense Headquarters was to look into ways to make Nigerian roads safe for travelers. The Senate leader, Ahmed Lawan, commended officers of the security agencies for the drastic measures taken to address the challenges of kidnapping and armed robbery.
Last week, there was so much kidnapping and other security challenges, but I think our security agencies, the police and the military are undertaking joint patrol and joint operations, and we are getting better outcomes and better results.
So many arrests were made, and even a shrine was located, and that shows that the police are on top of the situation.
The committee said the National Assembly will do all in its power to support the security operatives in the discharge of their duties. From the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Zumba, NT News.
And to other news now. Cross River State Government is set to procure sea vessels and aircraft for Kali Air operatives ahead of the planned floating of the state air and shipping lines. No fewer than 10 companies have made presentations for the procurement of the vessels, with the final build scheduled to hold in 2 weeks. Uduak Etim reports.
Governor Ben Ayade, who disclosed the state government's readiness for the projects during a presentation by pre-qualified consultants, said the projects are part of his industrialization drive. He noted that the business plan for the procurement of at least 2 aircrafts, an oil tanker vessel and fishing trawler, will meet the investment needs of the states. The governor added that the aircraft is expected to form the state's proposed Cali Air Services, which he said should commence operations by December this year to serve the state's tourist need during 2017 Carnival Calabar.
Of all the technical advice I have received so far, we have an emotional desire to continue to sustain their ambition, given the background that we intend to drive tourism as our primary basis. Is it worth it? The final consultant is going to give us the aircraft, where he's sourcing it from, and how much is the figure that Cross River State Government is contributing and how much he is bringing in. In other words, these 4, in my opinion, have passed the technical evaluation.
Commissioner for Transport, Mr. Savion Young, said Cross River State is now on track to take its place in maritime transaction. It is estimated that with over 200,000 passengers expected to fly the proposed airline, the state will stand to generate millions of naira annually. In Calabar, Udwak Etam, NTA News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps, which has the mandate of making the highways safe for road users, has in recent times witnessed attacks on its personnel in the course of their statutory functions. In this report, Basi Ita-Ipan takes a look at the operations of the FRSC against the backdrop of incessant attacks on its personnel.
Years after the establishment of the Federal Road Safety Corps, it is on record that a lot has been achieved on safety, roadworthiness of vehicles, and educating the motoring public. In spite of these efforts, there have been reported cases of attack on its personnel.
We must do sporadic patrol operations to enforce the laws and the regulations. And these, a lot of people are trying to resist. And that is why you see them most of the time waylaying most of our boys.
If you provide all, they will look at one thing and the other to make sure that they found you guilty. And from there, problem will start.
While some motorists advise FRSC to step up action on traffic offenders, others stress the need for FRSC personnel to discharge their duty with caution.
Anyone they found guilty, they prosecute him. That is the right thing.
Correct first. If the person is not going with your correction, you book him.
Of concern also is the coverage of number plates by some motorists, and wonder if there are exceptions to the rule.
Nobody is allowed. It's criminal.
So, whenever you are on the steering, just remember the next person has as equal rights as you have on the road. A little carefulness will save a soul. Basi Taiban, NTA News.
More effort by the FRSC for safer routes as we join Ademola in Lagos for this and more reports. Hello, Ademola.
Hello, Ronke. Good afternoon and warm welcome to Lagos. Nigerians have been urged to partner with the Federal Road Safety Corps' drive at ensuring safety on the nation's highways. The Corps Marshal Boboye Oyeyemi stated this at a forum with members of the Society Organization in Lagos. Rotimi Oluwagbemi compiled this report.
Acknowledging the role of civil society organizations in terms of advocacy, education and public enlightenment campaigns on road safety across the country, the Corps Marshal Boboye Oyeyemi said this development has helped in ensuring sanity on the highways. He stated that the visit is to further enhance citizens' cooperation on road safety. He commended the contributions of civil society groups whose anti-accident campaigns have helped in reducing accidents on the roads. The Corps Marshal also solicited the support from other civil society organizations and the public at large.
We believe the advocacy and education aspect of civil societies really help us in great deals. And the ultimate is for us to talking on reduction of road traffic crashes.
President Women Arise Center for Change, Dr. Joe Okin-Odumaki, appreciated the Corps Marshal and his team for the visit. She assured the Commission of the Center's commitment to support the Federal Road Safety Corps in their efforts to make the country's road free from accidents.
The road users should realize that life has no duplicates. We have to ensure that we respect laws and others. And those who are trying to protect us, we give them all respect. Respect is reciprocal, is to ensure our own safety.
The Corps Marshal has earlier decorated Dr. Joe Odumaki with an honorary Road Safety Marshal.
In a bid to guarantee commuters' safety in the nation's public transport system, the Minister of Transportation has unveiled a uniform for bus conductors. This is said will reduce the level of crime perpetrated by commercial buses and change public perception about bus conductors. Doidia completes the report.
Bus conductors are generally presumed as rude, disrespectful, and lack proper service orientation, which many road users say has become a source of nuisance in public road transportation, as they have also been fingered to be accomplice to criminal activities, especially one chance. The Minister of Transportation, who was represented by the Director, Road Transport Administration and Mass Transit, Dr. Antonia Ekpa, while unveiling the uniforms, charged the Bus Conductor Association to ensure that its members embrace good morals and respect for their customers.
95% of Nigerians use the road sector. And of these 95%, most of them use public transportation.
The president of the Trade Union Congress, Comrade Oboyi Kangama, and National President, Bus Conductors Association of Nigeria, Israel Adeshola, expressed optimism that the training and registration to be carried out by the Lagos State government will reflect into a change of attitude and public perception of conductors.
There will be no this act of pocket picking when you are in the bus or in a taxi. There will be no issues of molestation, foul languages being used on you, because if you do, the law will take its course.
Able to know what it takes to be a conductor and the challenges the conductors are going through. So to change the system is not a big deal.
The training and accreditation of bus conductors is expected to be organized by the Lagos State Driving Institute. In Lagos, Dotun Okunyemi, NTA News.
Building intelligence capacity of officers and the reintroduction of Human Resources Management Department in the Nigeria Police are relevant steps required to reposition the police for effective service delivery in crime fighting. Professor of Criminology, University of Jos, Etanibe Elemika, stated this at a public lecture on security organized by the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, in Lagos. Joy Ken Abakboya has the details.
Mika said forums to discuss security challenges and solutions have become mere talk shops because there has been too much emphasis on technicalities rather than pragmatic and strategic solutions. The way forward, as explained by Professor Alemika, is to foster a sustainable synergy among security agencies and stop proliferation of security outfits to forestall duplication of responsibilities in crime fighting.
We need to go back to the Constitution. The current law guiding the police is basically a 1943 law. We've washed it, we've used Omo to clean it, but it's a 1943 law. We have not found it worthy to be revised.
Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode, who was represented by the Deputy Governor Idiat Adebule, stressed the need for the National Assembly to legislate on the creation of state police to reduce crime and safeguard investments in the states.
Although the issue of state police has not gained the desired consensus, I believe strongly that it is the panacea for effective policing that is community-based.
Convener of the Public Lecture on Security, Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, emphasized the readiness of the Nigeria Police to intensify close working relations with the public with a view to consolidating the achievements recorded in crime control through community policing.
We need the populace to give us information, intelligence, and other support in these crime-fighting efforts. It is in this regard that we introduce the concept of community policing strategy.
The theme of the public lecture is providing strategic solutions to emerging security challenges. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakbuya, NTA News.
Senior citizens under the banner of Concerned Federal Pensioners in Lagos have staged a protest to highlight their plight over accumulated arrears of pension. They also want the ongoing pensions verification exercise to be carried out in Lagos State as soon as possible. Abolore Ogbara has the details.
They say it was one protest too many, as concerned pensioners came out in large numbers to drive home their point on the need for effective pension management system in the country. Chairman Concerned Pensioners in Lagos, Adodo David, said retirees deserve to be treated with dignity, and the best way to demonstrate such is to pay their pension and entitlements as at when due. He, however, demanded for prompt payment of outstanding 33% balance of 18 months arrears owed them, payment of gratuities and pension arrears to some of their members, and the payment of entitlements of their dead members to their family members.
They should give us a professional who understands the feelings of the pensioner. Somebody retired on level 14 is earning 2,000 naira. Some people retire on level 15, they are earning 6,000 naira. It's unacceptable.
What is the essence of conducting verification without paying? Many people have retired since 1999, 18 years ago. Till date, no gratuity, no pension.
Some of the pensioners believe that transfer of pension payments and management to the Office of the Head of Service will help address the challenges of prompt pension payment. The concerned pensioners say they are prepared to embark on a nationwide protest if their demands are not met. In Lagos, Abolore Ogbara, NTA News.
Well, that does it from Lagos. It's back to you, Ronke, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Demola in Lagos. The Council for the Regulation of Engineering Practice in Nigeria, COREN, in addition to its regulatory functions, creates avenue for members to collectively take far-reaching decisions to address the problems of engineering in Nigeria. Science correspondent Kirian Umayo reports that one of such platforms is COREN Assembly, which this year is dedicated to entrepreneurship and manufacturing in Nigeria, challenges and opportunities for a better future.
Engineering projects such as construction, designing and building require a high level of research and technical know-how for the desired objective to be achieved. President of COREN, Kashimali, while addressing science correspondents on this year's COREN Assembly, noted that regular interaction among members of the engineering family would lead to efficient engineering practice and education. He affirmed the ingenuity of Nigerian engineers, but decried slow pace of the actualization of practical realities of the profession, which is part of issues for discuss at the Assembly.
Capacity to market yourself is critical to success of any venture. It's not enough to have the knowledge. If you don't have the tools for marketing that knowledge, you may well keep it in an incubator. So we find that most of our businesses are not as successful as we want them to be. We thought that we should talk about it, even if it's to just prick our minds to say, look, yes, you have knowledge about this. Why are you not doing anything? So what are the steps you need to take to put the knowledge you have into practice?
He says Nigerian engineers are claimed globally as highly intellectual and would be admitted into the club of 20 best engineering nations by 2018. Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
The federal government has set up a technical committee towards adopting and implementing the agricultural insurance agreement signed between Nigeria and Morocco in December 2016. Musa Babaliyu has that report.
The Morocco's insurance system that Nigeria is adopting covers all aspects of crop production per hectare, from land clearing to the harvest, spanning 500 to 10,000 hectares.
Indexed insurance, it's a new product to Nigeria, but that's where technology is going, and we also want to exploit. It is most beneficial to farmers.
The federal government is adopting the system to leapfrog farmers to produce more, as insurance cover is there to protect them against environmental challenges such as flooding and drought.
We are doing the collaboration with NAYEC and Mandarin is a new innovation in protecting and covering risks and losses in the agri value chain.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture will adopt the system through the Bank of Agriculture and the Nigerian Agricultural Insurance Corporation. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The Senate's Joint Committee on Customs, Excise, Tariff and Marine Transportation has asked 60 indigenous companies to explain how foreign currencies totaling 2.3 trillion naira were expended. Chairman of the Joint Committee, Senator Hope Uzodimma, gave the directive at a meeting with chief executives of the affected companies, as reported by National Assembly correspondent Rabi Musa.
Forex, allocated by the Central Bank of Nigeria to the indigenous companies for importation of various items and services, is said to have been diverted for other uses, hence the deadline of Wednesday next week, given by the Senate Committee on Customs and Excise for the companies to account for the monies. Chairman of the committee, Senator Hope Uzodimma, said investigation revealed that the companies use the Forex for items not listed in their demands.
The category 1 is the unutilized Form M. The Form M you applied for, and you were given approval and allocation. And rather than import with the allocation, God knows what happened. You did not do that. Pre-arrival assessment report, PA and RA, that were issued to you people, and you abandoned them. Yet you took your goods, and the money is still open in the database. Then single goods declaration, which you people did by yourself, and then abandoned them, you didn't pay them, yet you collected their goods.
Appeal by some of the chief executives of the indigenous companies for shift of appearance date was rejected by the committee, which stressed that failure to honor set date would attract penalties.
Before they came here, maybe they had a different impression. Now they have come to see what is the situation. I'm sure they will give it the seriousness it deserves.
Of the first batch of 30 companies invited, only 14 turned up for the investigative hearing by the Senate Committee on Customs and Excise. Rabi Musa, NTA News.
Just a reminder that you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. This is nationwide on the NTA. We now pause for some messages. The news continues shortly.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
Many Nigerian children cannot afford to go to school because they live in poverty. Instead of enjoying education and its benefits, they get involved in street trading to help themselves and their families survive. The Rogers Foundation is a humanitarian organization which currently caters for over 15,000 less privileged children in various schools all over Nigeria. The foundation has a goal to take thousands of less privileged children off the streets and provide them with free quality education from secondary school to the university as part of her Vision 2030. Admission forms are free and available online and at all Rogers Foundation colleges at Owerri, Jos, Ibadan, Kano, Enugu, Sokoto, Yola, Bauchi, Zaria, and Oboko. For further details, visit www.rochersfoundation.org. Rogers Foundation, we educate to empower.
Ultimate Hotels, Abuja, the ultimate place to be. Yes, we are all guilty of this. We judge people based on ethnic group.
My father only took a look at your picture, not pictures, and shouted, "Hey, see this tribal mark."
We judge people based on the area they reside.
Samson comes from a place where kidnapping is rampant.
We judge people before we have a chance to know them closely.
Have you gone to dog place to look for your dog? Unbelievable.
Stereotypes. Another rib-cracking episode of your #1 television comedy series. Professor John Bull explores and explodes this terrible societal ill. Keep a date with Professor John Bull's series and laugh like never before.
Where you come from, sir? Come from Umeu. Hey! Umeu! What's up? Why the shout? Those people sabi thief goat. Over and out.
Brought to you by Glow.
The largest data network. Glow. Unlimited.
National Council for Arts and Culture, Abuja presents 10th African Arts Crafts Expo, AFAC Expo 2017, the biggest arts and crafts expo in Africa. Theme, Nigerian crafts, the untapped treasure. Date, 27th August to 17th September 2017. Venue, Arts and Crafts Village, beside Sheraton Hotel and Yaradua Center, Abuja. Time, 9 a.m. daily. AFAC presents a unique platform for artists, crafts dealers, manufacturers, and other stakeholders to buy, sell, and promote products from Nigeria and other African countries. For more information, please call Chinwe on 0803-321-7724, Gerald on 0802-3345-301. National Council for Arts and Culture, our pride. Otumba Olusegun Ronshewe, Director General, announcer.
Glad to know you're still watching nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. Stakeholders meet on security in Ondo State. Let's join Agatha in Benin for details and more. Hello, Agatha.
Hello, Ronke. Good evening and many thanks for joining us in Benin. Edo State government is to revamp public libraries in the state and also provide state-of-the-art facilities. Governor Gordon Obaseki disclosed this when he received the report of the Joint Implementation Team on Public and Secondary Schools Library System in Edo State. Goodluck Inaini reports.
The decline in reading culture among students, especially at the basic education level, necessitated this drive. Governor Obaseki, who received the reports from the team, noted that public libraries can be used to create a sustainable learning environment that can strengthen the quality of human capital in the state.
We are losing the battle for development because we've failed or we've stopped educating our children, educating ourselves, and we've stopped reading. I have surmised that the bulk of the challenges we face in this country today is the failure of our educational system, particularly at the basic level. When illiterates teach our children at such a formative age in life, what do you expect? We've gone back to the roots, to the base, to start work.
Chairman of the team, Mrs. Grace Sani, stated the committee's recommendation to include the need for government to employ professionals in the management of public libraries and the establishment of e-libraries in all the local government areas in the state. In Benin, I am Goodluck Inaini, NTA News.
To security matters now, following the state of kidnapping and other criminal activities in Ondo and neighboring states, the Ondo State Police Command and other security agencies have organized a strategic meeting with stakeholders to discuss the way forward in ensuring security, especially at the grassroots. Olubukola Aduwo, who was at Igbokoda, headquarters of Ilaje local government area, venue of the meeting, now reports.
Opening the strategic meeting at Igbokoda, the Commissioner of Police in the state, Idaibi Harrison, who was represented by our Deputy Adekunle Ashafa, said information is key to policing, hence the need for the rural dwellers to cooperate with security agencies in dealing with crime and criminality. He said now that the Senate has passed the whistleblower protection bill to law, the police is ready to protect the giver and whatever information being given.
To be security conscious and make sure that they give us more information.
Other security chiefs appeal to the younger generation to desist from crime and embrace legitimate businesses. The train also moved to Ore, headquarters of Odigbo local government area, where the security heads urged residents to be law-abiding and cooperate with them at all times. Participants at the security meetings solicited the trust of security officials when the need arises.
It's a starting point, and I believe it will go a long way to ensure security of this area.
If we're looking for this type of meetings, I think when we interact like that, most especially the civilian and the forcemen, then we are able to work together.
In Akure, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
And the Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Senator Aisha Al-Hassan, has enjoined Nigerians to shed party divides to ensure the progress of the nation and its citizens. She made the call in Asaba, the Delta State capital, at an advocacy and town hall meeting. Thelma Eliogu has details.
The town hall meeting centered on the importance of girl-child education, ending harmful traditional practices to women and children, as well as assessing the federal government empowerment programs. The minister said coming to meet the women was the only way to get feedback on their needs.
The federal government, just like the state government, is interested in having every child, especially the girl child, educated.
Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, represented by the State Commissioner for Women Affairs, Reverend Omoshola Williams, said the state has committed resources to improve and empower women through wealth creation programs.
It is a thing of joy that women and girls are participating actively in various empowerment programs of Delta State government. The Youth Agricultural Entrepreneur Program, which is the YAGA, and Skills Training Entrepreneurship Program, which is STEP, including the credit scheme.
The women had the floor to ask questions on the discourse, to which the Minister and the State Commissioner for Education, Chiedo Ebie, provided answers and assurances to. In Asaba, Thelma Eliog, NTA News.
And that ends it from here. Ronket, back to you for more reports. Good evening.
Thank you, Agatha. Following the signing into law of the Diaspora Bill, the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, Abike Dabirerewa, has called on Nigerian professionals in the diaspora to gear up with their skills and resources that will impact on the economy.
We're beginning to look inwards. Yes, the challenging times will bring out the best in all of us.
Absolutely.
And that is why I agree with you that we should support this administration. It's going to be tough and rough, but we are seeing gradual positive changes and development. And if we sustain this and move on, we will truly build the Nigeria of our dreams.
We have to support the government. We, as every individual in our household.
The Senior Special Assistant also received the new executives of Nigeria in Diaspora Organization, NIDO, China, led by Brian Akiri. The delegation pledged to change the negative narratives about Nigeria in China. And for Nigeria to fully actualize the implementation of the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, public and private sector partnership has been identified as key. Minister of Budget and National Planning Udo Udoma stated this at the inauguration of the 23rd National Economic Summit Joint Planning Committee in Abuja. Musa Abubakar reports.
With efforts such as the federal government's diversification drive and adoption of the Growth and Recovery Plan, Nigeria's economy is set to be gradually picking up. The National Economic Summit serves as another avenue that brings together economic actors in the private and public sectors to profile solutions to the country's economic challenges. The Joint Planning Committee is expected to actualize the 23rd National Economic Summit targeted at restoring and sustaining growth in a globally competitive environment.
Concentrating our efforts on at the moment is how to build on our current positive momentum to ensure that our growth trajectory is maintained post-recession with a positive impact on all our citizens.
Members of the committee are drawn from the private and public sectors. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
The federal government has distributed assorted relief materials to the internally displaced persons of Azovia Ida in Ebonyi State to cushion the effect of land dispute that led to the displacement of people in the area. Chinaza John reports that the materials were handed over to the state government by the National Commissioner for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons in Abakaliki.
The people of Azovia were allegedly attacked by their neighbors in Obruba local government area of Cross River State following a land dispute in January this year that led to loss of lives and properties in the area. The Federal Commissioner Hajia Sadia Umar Farouk said the gesture is meant to support state government's efforts towards the rehabilitation of displaced persons. She assured them of care, maintenance and durable solutions to persons of concern.
The National Commission reintegrated and readmitted.
Ebonyi State Governor, represented by his deputy, Dr. Kelechi Igwe, in appreciation for the prompt response, said the state government is committed to the welfare of the IDPs by providing security to ward off any reprisal attack. He called on the federal government as a matter of urgency to intervene to bring the crisis to an end.
Very worrisomely.
Some of the internally displaced persons expressed gratitude to the federal government. The commission had earlier in February delivered food and drugs to the victims. In Abakaliki, Chinaza John, NTA News.
Nigerians have been advised to keep alive the nation's forebearers' vision of unity and progress through promotion of mutual relationships. This was the thrust of the message of the Nigerian Television Authority to the 2017 Planning Committee of the FRCN, NTA, and the Voice of Nigeria Carol of 9 Lessons. Glory Ekanem reports.
Our teaser from the 2016 Christmas Carol. Ahead of this year's celebration, a committee is being inaugurated by the Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, represented by the Executive Director, Administration and Training, Steve Egbo. He enjoined the team to propagate the message of patriotism, peaceful coexistence, and the fear of God.
As far as I'm concerned, religion shouldn't be an issue. Those who use religion as an issue are those who are deliberately creating a disconnect within the body politic. They are wrong.
Members of the committee are drawn from the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Voice of Nigeria, and the Nigerian Television Authority, the host for this year's Carol of 9 Lessons.
There should be unity of purpose within the Christendom.
Let us preach reconciliation. Let us preach love.
The planning committee, as inaugurated, will find the wisdom, will get the wisdom to carry through and to present a beautiful showpiece again in 2017.
It is hoped that the 2017 service of 9 Lessons and Carols will help to foster peaceful coexistence amongst the nation's ethnic groups. In Abuja, Glory Ekanem, NTA News.
Thank you, Glory. Federal government begins free obstetric fistula repairs. This and more as we join Kemi in Ibadan. Kemi, it's over to you now.
Thank you, Ronke, and a warm welcome to Ibadan. The federal government says arrangement has been concluded to carry out free obstetric fistula repair on identified 400,000 patients nationwide, with a view to alleviating the sufferings of women affected by the disorder. The Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, said these are the official opening of a 1-week obstetric fistula repairs in Ilesha, Osun State. Ayomi Kwajibola has details.
Worried by the high rate of women living with obstetric fistula in the country, the Minister for Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, says the federal government is making concerted effort to address cases of obstetric fistula by training more surgeons and other health workers in collaboration with development partners to deal with backlog and provide care closer to women suffering from the disorder.
Many of those who have it are poor, so when you attach money to the care, you are not going to get them. So treatment will be free.
The country project manager, United States Agency for International Development, Fistula Care Plus, EMA IFEM, and the Chief Medical Director, Obafemi Awolowo Teaching Hospital, Professor Victor Adetiloye, described obstetric fistula as a major public health concern in the developing world.
So we're coming to initiate and let the ministry see that this is something that needs to be done, and then they can continue with it, because for sustainability, they are the ones who should be doing it.
There is need to acquire more knowledge in the way these patients are being treated.
The minister, joined by other surgeons, later carried out surgical operation on a woman who had been living with the condition for years.
We are very grateful, and we pray that they should keep on doing it. God will bless them.
About 15 women have so far been operated, while more than 20 have also been lined up for the operation. From Ilesha in Osun State, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
Oyo State government has launched a 50 billion naira endowment fund to enhance healthcare delivery in the state. The state governor, Abiola Ajimobi, said the initiative is part of the developmental agenda to improve the public health sector. Adebola Ogulano reports.
The launch of the 50 billion naira health endowment fund, according to Governor Abiola Ajimobi, is to make the state free of communicable and non-communicable diseases and curtail medical tourism to other countries.
Our duty as a people, as a government, as individuals, is not only to preserve health, but to enhance the health of the people.
Other health experts, including the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Aziz Adeduton, advised against misappropriation of the fund for the realization of the set targets.
They've done very well by engaging the services of groups in the United States that are involved in procuring and providing relatively cheap medical equipment. So by this time in February, March next year, all those innovations, some of them will have been almost near completion.
It is expected that the 622 primary health centers and 57 general hospitals across the state are to be facilitated and adequately equipped with drugs and other needs. In Ibadan, Adebola Ogunlanu, NTA News.
Away from health matters, the Kwara State Independent Electoral Commission is set to organize local government election within the next 90 days across the 16 local government areas of the state. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya has details.
The chairman of the Kwara State Independent Electoral Commission, Dr. Usman Najidagba, explained that in line with the third schedule, part 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended in 2011, there is need for the local government councils elections to be held across the state this year. Dr. Usman Najidagba noted that all political parties, relevant stakeholders, and every citizen have the right to be aware of this development in time. The chairman therefore called on Kwarans to cooperate with the commission as it will not tolerate any interference in its activities.
Inshallah, we have it that we will do things according to the dictates of the law.
The press conference was well attended by electoral officers and assistant electoral officers across the 16 local government areas of the state. In Ilori, Aisha Abubakar Yahaya, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. It's back to you, Ronke, for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Kemi. Time now for Obiageli Ugoke to reel out some of the stories trending across the globe.
Hello and welcome to this segment of the news. As Rwandans go to the poll, 3 candidates are canvassing for the post of the president of the country. Reports say incumbent President Paul Kagame is expecting to win the third term on the RPF tickets, judging by the number of people who turned up at his rally. His contenders are Frank Habineza of Democratic Green Party and independent candidate Philip Paimana. President Kagame has promised stability, security, and economic growth. Frank Habineza pledged improvements on land ownership, housing for armed forces, whereas Philip Paimana said he will improve infrastructure and provide better access to health care. In Dubai, a large fire has ripped through a residential skyscraper in the United Arab Emirates. Civil defense workers successfully evacuated people from the building and the fire was brought under control. It is not yet clear what caused the fire. The building is one of the world's tallest, and this incident is the second time in 2 years. Moving on, the special counsel investigating Russia meddling in the U.S. election has begun using a grand jury in Washington. Grand juries were used to issue subpoenas to compel people to testify. President Trump has again poured scorn on the inquiry, telling a rally to West Virginia it was a total fabrication.
So they're trying to cheat you out of the future with a fake story.
And British cyber security researcher Marcus Hutchins will appear in the court anytime soon in Las Vegas for a cybercrime case. The 23-year-old has been accused of involvement with Kronos, a piece of malware used to steal banking details from victims' computer. And that's all we have for you on this package. The news continues.
And now talking sports. 2017 Junior Golf Clinic ends in Abuja as Paris Saint-Germain unveiled their world record signing Neymar. Ayodeji Makinde has more on Sports Update.